Hi guys, it's time for writing. We are going to start a new type of writing. It's called realistic fiction. You guys have heard realistic fiction in guided reading and in reading time. So we have two types of fiction. First of all, fiction means something that's made up. We have fantasy fiction and we have realistic fiction. Realistic fiction is a story made up, but it could happen in real life. So it is something that could happen in real life. So let's look at these pictures here. Get this stuff out of the way. We have a girl and a boy playing soccer. That could happen in real life. We have this boy, he's sad. It looks like he wants to play baseball, but it's raining outside. That could happen in real life. A ballet recital could happen in real life. So I'm going to show you a chart. Fiction writers. So the first thing you do when you're writing a realistic fiction story is you have to make up some pretend characters. You can give your characters a name. It can be any name you want. Maybe you have a favorite pet you want to name your character. That's fine. Give them a name. And then you're going to imagine some adventures that your character or characters are going to go on. Maybe they go to the park. See, this character has a cat. Maybe your characters are going to go on a bike ride. Maybe they're going to go for a swim in the pool, have a lemonade stand. Maybe your character has great ideas. And then when you have your idea, your adventure that you want to make your first story about, you're going to think about it first and touch and tell. Touch across your pages as you tell your story before writing it. You always want to say your story out loud before, or each page before you actually start writing it, because when you do that, you get more ideas as you're saying it, and it gives you more things you can write in your book. And then after you touch and tell, you're going to sketch and write. You're going to begin writing your story. And notice it's like a cycle. It goes around. Once we come to the end, the sketch and write, it goes back to your characters. So when you finish your first one, you're going to write another story with the same characters, but a different adventure. So I'm going to walk you through this. Let me see if I can stretch. Sorry, guys. Okay. Here I'm going to leave our anchor chart, and I'm going to walk you through it. So first, I'm going to come up with some characters. So I'm going to write my realistic fiction books about a boy. So here are my characters. Okay, so here I have my boy. I'm going to name him Hudson. And most of you will know Hudson is actually my dog. So I'm using my dog's name as my character. A lot of authors will do the same. Hudson, and Hudson likes to go on adventures with his dog. So let's see if I can draw a dog. Okay, so there's his dog. We're going to name her Ava. Hudson and his dog Ava like to go on adventures. So I'm going to write a couple of things about Hudson and Ava. So Hudson's a first grader. So he's in first grade. He has a dog named Ava. Okay. So now I have my characters. I made up my characters, a boy and his dog. I gave them a name, Hudson, Ava. Notice I don't have dragons or Spider-Man, bless you, or made up people, made up characters for my characters. I have a boy and a dog. Those are real things, realistic fiction. Okay, so I have my characters. Now, we're going to make a list of some adventures. So I'm going to title this page Hudson and Ava's Adventures. Hudson and Ava's Adventures. So I'm just going to make a list of some different adventures. Each one of my adventures is going to be a new book, a new realistic fiction book that I'm going to write with the same characters on each book. These are my main characters. Everyone else we come across will be our secondary characters. So some adventures. I go swimming at the pool. They have a lemonade stand. They play at the park. He goes to the dentist. Also the time he had to get a shot at the doctor. Shots at the doctor. And then there's that crazy time they found a kitten. Can you imagine a dog with a kitten? Found a kitten. So now on my list of their adventures, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different stories that I'm going to write. Okay. Okay. So I want you to notice none of my adventures say they went to outer space, they got chased by a monster, because those things could not happen in real life. They have to be adventures that you could really do. Maybe you want to take some adventures, bless you, that you've been on, some things that you've done, and have your characters do those adventures. You'd have lots to tell because you've done those things yourself. Maybe it's something you've always wished you could do. That could be another adventure there. Okay, so next we have our characters, their names, their adventures. Next, we're going to plan it out and do our touch and tell. So here's kind of the sketching part or the planning part. We're going to draw. These are going to represent the pages. You can have as many pages in your book as you want. I'm going to do, because what we average, we write about 8. So I'm going to have 8 pages in my book. Okay, so we have page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to write about the time that Hudson and Ava went to the pool. So we're going to give our title. I'm just going to write it down here. A day at the pool. ... Oops. Okay. So now I'm going to touch and tell my story across my pages. Page 1. Remember, the first part of our story, we need our hook. We have to hook our reader. So page 1. What we thought was going to be a day swimming at the pool turned into something else. Aren't you wondering now what's going to happen? That's our hook. Hudson and Ava wanted to go swimming, so they got their swimsuits and their floats. Page 3. They walked, instead of walked, we're going to say they skipped. They skipped down to the neighborhood pool. Page 4. To their surprise, it was closed. Oh no, what will we do? Asked Hudson. Page 5. They turned around to walk back home, filled with sadness. Now we're on 6. On the walk home, they heard a happy sound. It was the ice cream truck. Excited. There's not really an ice cream truck. Oh, sorry. Excited. They ran. Oh, nope, not ran. That's a no-no word. They dashed to the truck. Hudson couldn't believe it. He had just enough money for his favorite chocolate pop. And then our last page, our ending. Remember, we got to end it with a bang. What turned out, what we thought was going to be a day swimming, turned out to be the best day ever. And that's the end of our story. So now I've done my touch and tell. Here is where I'm going to start writing my story. And if you want, notice I don't have anything on here. As I did my touch and tell, I could draw a little sketch. I could draw a sketch, a little picture, a quick, remember a sketch is just no details, no color, something quick in each of the boxes. That'll help me so that when I go to my pages, I know what I'm going to write about. So let's say you don't have any paper to print. And in the packet, the Walker packet, they have some printable paper that you can use. If you have white paper, just plain white paper, construction paper, anything, you can just make it like we do. So divide it in half for your picture and draw your lines. To keep yourself writing straight on the lines. Okay, don't forget to number your pages, front and back. You can write front and back. This would be page 2. And just keep adding them. 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay, we have, let me get these out of the way, our writing editing checklist. So some things that we need to remember. Here's my editing checklist. I put spaces between my words, finger spaces between your words. I checked my sight words, the spelling of your sight words. I sent you your sight word and sound word wall. You should be using that to help you. I spelled tricky words the best I can. Here's we have our linking chart with our consonant clusters, those digraphs and blends. Stretch out those words. Let's use the word splashing. So let's say we don't know the word splashing. Okay. Think about, say the word splashing with me. Splashing. Let's stretch it out. Splashing. I hear lots of chunks in that word. At the beginning of the word, I hear sp, sp, spl. That's a blend. Spl, vowel, sh, splash, digraph, sh, splash. That's our base word. Now we have ing. That's a suffix.